of the 213 members present in the room, 155 of those members present rejected what the government currently have on offer to the teachers of this nation. Well, the business of the association continues here at our 62nd annual conference, and in our 6th session, among the items that are usually treated with is that of updating our members salaries and conditions of service. As we're all aware, as with all other public sector groupings, we are currently in negotiations with the government of Jamaica for the contractual period 2025-2028. And our Deputy Secretary General of Industrial Relations, Mr. Clayton Hall, he would have made presentations to the conference, updating members on the latest offer issued by the Ministry of Finance and Public Service to the association on August 14, 2026, just prior to us coming to the start of this conference. Yeah, so as is customary, our colleagues would have deliberations, made their submissions concerning that which was presented to them, and ultimately a decision was taken. The decision of the teachers of the nation, of the 213 members present in the room, 155 of those members present rejected what the government currently have on offer to the teachers of this nation. 54 of them said yes, and we had a spoiled ballot and 3 rejected. So the teachers have spoken, and that is an indication to the leadership of the association, the presidential core, the secretariat, that we will know. Well, our first course of action would be that we need to write to the Ministry of Education, of Finance, for having sent us the offer. Then we need to respond in writing what the will of the voice of the teachers, what that is at this time. And they're saying, presidential core, admin, you need to go back to the table and have some further discussions and deliberations.
How easy will that be?
How easy?
Yes.
Nothing for the teachers of this nation has ever come easy. Nothing. We've always had to struggle, and so the struggle continues.
And when I say that, does it mean that the process will have to be start all over?
Oh, certainly not. The conversation continues. We've been at the bargaining table for a while, and we will continue to have those conversations with the Ministry of Finance for them to come to an understanding that there are some matters that are quite important to the teachers that they need to reflect on and certainly move in another direction.
Are you able to say any of the sticking points that came out today amongst the teachers that they were, or majority were against?
Well, members on the floor certainly would have brought to light, having heard the submissions, pulled out the matter of the remote inducement allowance. The fact, not the remote inducement, the uniform policy, the protective clothing. Coming out of the restructuring exercise of 2022, the government in that MOU on March 13, 2023, agreed that there would be no movement on the protective clothing allowance for teachers until a uniform policy that is across, that is for the public sector workers, that until that has been settled. It was settled in August of 2024, and it took us at the table in 2026 for the government to finally, the Ministry of Finance, to agree with us that they have never agreed, they have never activated that which they agreed to in the MOU, that the teachers matter would be treated with once that uniform policy has been settled. So finally, after all the deliberations, the government, having some 3 or 4 levels in the uniform policy, and the smallest remuneration package is $135,000. And the government of Jamaica has offered the teachers not one of the 4 categories, but $38,500. So we do not qualify to be benchmarked and to be retrofitted or to sit in any of the existing quartiles that exist for the uniform policy as embedded in the document that guides the uniform policy for the public sector workers. Why the treatment of the teachers in this way? We continue to question. So that was one matter that was raised by a member on the floor. Also, the matter of the graduate allowance continues to be a lingering issue. Again, in the restructuring exercise in 2022, we fought tooth and nails for the graduate allowance to be returned as a line item on the teacher's salary as at April 1st, 2024. That was honored. However, it is a mere one increment. We continue to advance that the teachers of this nation reflects, embodies the knowledge economy of the nation. A teacher can take his or her students no further than he or she has gone, academically, socially, any other way, on any other alley. It is important that this nation recognizes the value and contribution oftentimes borne personally. So yes, the Ministry of Education as well as the Ministry of Finance will articulate that there is a provision of a 50% refund, which is not truly 50% in nature, because it now has a ceiling coming out of the restructuring exercise of some $750,000. And so you truly don't get back half of the money if you qualify and if you meet the requirements where that is concerned. So there are many teachers who, using their own resources, undertake additional studies to ensure that they remain marketable, that they remain relevant, that they remain current in terms of the content that they are expected to deliver to their students. And the government of Jamaica does not seem to value that in a tangible way. And so the teachers have spoken that that was also a matter that needs revisiting. There are also some other, when you look at the conditions of service, we have some queries to be made as to this concerning the early childhood practitioners and what the response has been from government. So the struggle continues.